Yo, what's up guys? Today I'm gonna be telling you how you can get a bunch of the honey currency. That's right, because in this new update, you're gonna have to rely on one thing: honey. Right, nothing else but honey. Because in this shop, which you can access by saying that I want to trade honey, you can see that this shop right here has nothing but interesting stuff that only sells for honey. That's right. And we have like a flower seed pack right here that costs like 10 honey. And if you take a look at the odds, you can get your sunflower if you have 100% chance will probably be, I'm not so sure, but a lot. It will be like spending 2,000 honey currency. Oh my gosh, that's way too crazy. But anyways, I'm gonna be giving you a lot of tips on how you can get honey really fast. Well, here's the most important one and the most basic one. Whatever you gotta do is use the moon melons from the previous update. That's right. So if you don't have moon melons, this update will be a little bit more difficult for you, but there are still ways to work around it, even though if you don't have the moon melons specifically. But moon melons were common in the previous update, so I don't really understand why you wouldn't have it. Anyways, my cat is currently sleeping in half frozen here right now. I do not know how he achieved that, but that's pretty cool. Anyways, guys, what you're gonna need is a bunch of moon melons. That's right, I'm gonna repeat that once again. And you will need to use the sprinkler method. Right, sprinkler method. Once again, sprinkler method. Because sprinkler method can help make those really big fruits, which is something that you will need to get your most honey. So I just got a dragon fruit right here that's pollinated, but you know what? I'm just gonna pick up everything, guys. The reason I'm gonna pick up everything is because, oh, never mind. I'm not gonna pick up the moon melons, guys. I'm not gonna pick up the moon melons. I'm just gonna keep the things the way it is because, but it's at the same time so difficult if you wanna like actually pick up stuff that's actually pollinated. So what the next thing I advise you to do is get your trowel out, because if you've done the sprinkler method on your moon melons, then you know how difficult it is already if you want to just take out stuff that actually has the honey mutation, the pollinated mutation. And whoa, what is this golden pepper doing here? Is this golden or is this honey, or is this both? What the heck? So yeah, you're gonna have to sort out your garden, because sorting out your garden is actually key here to actually get anything done, get anything sorted out. Also, important tip, guys. Oh my gosh, 1 2 3 4 5 6 mutations on that pepper. That's crazy. Also, important tip, guys, the max amount of honey that you can get per putting it in the machine is actually quite low. It is only 10 kg. And guys, let me tell you something real quick. All right, let me tell you something real quick. So if you go into this shop right here, there is something important that you need to know. So if you just scroll down, you can see something called the honeycomb. This is not something you use. This is actually a cosmetic, so don't get that. It is completely useless. And there is something else that I also need to tell you, and that is the honey torch is another cosmetic, so don't think that attracts bees. That probably doesn't. And the honey sprinkler, I'm not so sure what this does yet, because I actually bought this and I tested it out, and you know guess what happened? I put it like in the middle of my moon melons, and then all of them just got the honey glaze mutation. Now what I'm thinking is, with the honey glaze mutation, I think there's a higher chance that bees go for that. Also, another thing that I want to remind you, do not just sell any just destroy any plant that gives fruits of less than 10 kilograms. Seriously, because anything that's less than 10 kilograms, you do not want it. Anything that's more than that, you will definitely want that. Because let me tell you something real quick, that I'm gonna do something crazy. So you see that this no, not this one. You see this pollinated beanstalk right here? That's exactly 10 kilograms. Well, if you put this in here, this actually fills up to 10 kg. Now, if you have a fruit that's not weighing 10 kg, this bar will basically not fill up to the max. And there will be an even crazier issue that I want the devs to fix, and that is to increase the honey cap. Because if you place something that's worth more than what it actually is, like for example, I'm gonna put like this pollinated coconut, which is like 12.89 kilograms. If I'm gonna put this in here, it only gives me 10 honey still, because it only counts it as 10 kg, because it caps it at that. And there is currently no way to actually upgrade this. Now I know this may look like the upgrade, but it is not, because this is cosmetic upgrade if you can read this. And of course there are also pet updates, pet upgrades, but once again, you don't want that. So yeah, currently there is absolutely no way that you can actually, well, do anything about this. And of course, there is another way that you can actually AFK this overnight. So this will require a bit of work from your side. What you're going to have to do is pick up everything that is already pollinated, including this poor golden pollinated celestial frozen shock dragon fruit, which I don't want to pick up. Like, bro, I wish more mutations means more honey, because like that's not the case, unfortunately. That's not how it works, and I really don't like that. That's the fact that that's not how it works. It sucks. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to favorite this because, well, I don't want to get rid of this. Which, why can't I favorite this? Bro, they make it so difficult to favorite. There we go, I just favorited it. Anyways, to test out this whole honey glaze thing, we're gonna wait for the next bee swarm, everybody. Which should be in 20 minutes. And we're gonna see how many fruits actually turn into, well, pollinated. I'm assuming a lot more is gonna be pollinated, because the bees are 100% probably gonna go for all of that. I'm not so sure how that works, but once again, we are still testing out stuff in this video. Alright, never mind. So it actually says right here, the honey glaze mutation gives you a 5 times multiplier and is obtainable through honey sprinkler and secret events. So that's basically it. Why is that basically it? I don't know. They could have added so much more to this mutation, like making it a higher chance of the bees just infecting your fruit, you know? Or I mean, no, not infecting, pollinating. Also, here is the biggest tip that I'm gonna share with you guys, and it is really how you can actually get a bunch of honey really quickly, because this is a method that nobody's talking about. What you should actually do is use multiple accounts at once in this update. Yeah, I know this may seem a little bit ridiculous, but mark my words, multiple accounts at once can actually get you so much more pollinated fruit, which in turn means more honey currency. Like, think about it, alright? If you have like multiple accounts with like pollinated fruit and you give it all to your main account and your main account starts selling all of that for honey, your main account basically gets the most out of it. And since there is also a friend boost thingy, you can basically use just your alt accounts for friend boost, which is of course another way that, well, you can get like a bunch more honey. I'm pretty sure, I'm not so sure. There we go. Now that we have a 40% boost, let's see if it affects it, because I have no idea if it affects it. And yeah, it actually does affect it. See what I mean? Instead of getting 10, I got like 14 actually, which is pretty good actually. Anything that's a small improvement is actually massive. So yeah, don't underestimate that. Like, that's just absolutely goated. Look at that. I just got like, wait, 17 or 14. I have no idea, but I got a lot. Also guys, save your currency. Do not go for the cosmetics, because the cosmetics are absolutely useless here. What I would go for is I would go for the bee eggs, because the bee eggs contain those bee pets which can pollinate your fruits over time as well. So yeah, if you're not gonna go for that, just go for it, please. It is very worth it. Mark my words, it is super worth it. Anyways, if you don't know how to use multiple accounts at once, I already have a dedicated video on that, and it is on both mobile and PC, by the way. But you know what? I will just describe to you as simple as possible later in a different video. All you have to know is that I'm using Roblox account manager if you're on PC, and if you're on phone, use UG phone, because basically it helps you to use like multiple phones at once, which in turn uses multiple Roblox accounts at once. But anyway, speaking about moon melons, what the heck? Yeah, speaking about moon melons, as you can see, my alts, they definitely have a lot of moon melon seeds. Oh, only 2. What the heck? Oh, I didn't even grind the update, bro. But yeah, any plant is just good. Like, you see the beanstalk. The beanstalk is not that great because wait, the beanstalk is just good enough because it's like, you know, 10 kg and stuff. And yeah, I basically have like beanstalks on all of my accounts. I just have not planted them yet. But yeah, you get the point, guys. Multiple accounts is the way to go to actually get a bunch of honey. Anyway, let me get back to the video because I actually forgot to put this in the video and I'm just recording it separately. But anyways, I'm gonna just recap what I said about getting the honeys really quickly, because there is no other way besides this method. You're going to have to rely on your big fruits. Now, the fruits that I rely on is moon melons, moon mangoes, and peppers, because these 3, they grow really fast with the whole sprinkler method. and they also grow really big, so it's basically guaranteed that it's basically gonna get pollinated and everything. And one more that I can share with you is that I think you should be AFKing in the game overnight right now, because if you AFK overnight, by the time you wake up, I am pretty positive that all of your stuff will basically have that whole pollinated mutation, and you can just AFK start selling right over there at the bee honey compressor, which of course in turn gives you a lot of honey. So that's basically the whole summary here, the whole recap. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. There are many other videos out there that say if you want to get the honey fast, you got to do this, you got to do that. Well, I'm just being straightforward here because realistically there is no other way besides, well, just waiting and AFKing in the real game while having the big fruits ready. So I will see you guys in the next video.